Good morning, beloveds. You know you need to wash your hair when you wake up dreaming about taking a shower. And that's, I woke up dreaming about taking a shower and I was like, I guess I will get up and wash my hair. So I have washed my hair. All right. We have 2 days left in November. November was the month of gratitude, and every day he gave us a title on what we could be thankful for. And so today, November 29th, our title is Illumination. Our Bible quote is, "Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in." Okay. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. And that is from Psalm 24:7. Okay. The gates that we have to open represent the place in our consciousness where the divine flows into the human. The light that the saintly artists of medieval times painted around people, particularly the halo, represents the lifting up of these gates. Illumination, or cosmic consciousness, is a reality. This is what Jesus referred to when he said, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Today, I lift up my consciousness to the light, and I know that the King of glory will come in. Today, I keep this inner light, this candle of the Lord, trimmed and burning, for I know that the bridegroom, who is Christ, my true self, will enter my consciousness. I know that there is a divine radiance emanating from everything. I know that in this light, which emanates from the very center of everything, there is no darkness at all. In this light, I shall see the light. Okay. And from the Science of Mind text, there can be and does descend into our minds, embody and personify in our person a divinity, a unity, the Spirit of God, the direct incarnation of the original thing in us, the mystical presentation of Christ. And that is from the textbook, page 341. And honestly, this is probably one that I'm going to go back and think about a lot. I love museums, and I like to go to museums, and living here in Houston, we have some phenomenal museums. And last February, I was supposed to do one thing and then ended up not doing it, so I had some time on my hands. And so one of the things that we did do is we went down to the art museum, which I can't think of the name of right now. And the religious art is phenomenal. And halos come in a lot of different shapes. We like to think of the circle, but sometimes they were the circles. Sometimes they were triangles. And I forget, there was a specific reason why that particular style had triangles. And sometimes it was like rays of light behind the head, and sometimes it was just this diffuse gold behind the head. And each different halo, each different way, one, it was definitely an artist thing, and two, sometimes they meant specific things. That triangle one meant something specific. But the point of it was to denote a holy person. And frequently, and I forget who made the quote, "Don't tell me about your God, show me your God." And that's what the halos are for. The halos are for to show you this is a holy person. This is an emissary of God. Well, I mean, we're not going to walk around with halos around our head. So how do we walk around in that illumination? How do we show people our God? Which in Science of Mind is an interesting question, because we don't exactly have that warm, fuzzy God. We talk about patterning intelligence, and we talk about the divine light, and we talk, and we talk about love and creation and light and the creative power. We don't exactly have that warm, fuzzy God. We do have Jesus, though. So, and that's probably, if we go back and listen to what Jesus taught and followed his example, that's how we show our light. It's like we live our life in such a way that people see that we are happy, that we are creative, that we are loving, that we are kind, that we are compassionate. And you don't have to do it 100% of the time. You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to have those other emotions. In fact, frankly, I think sometimes there are times that there is such a thing as righteous anger. And that's our social justice aspect. That's where we look at a situation and go, that's not right. How do we fix this? The operative word being, and I did say it was we. How do we fix this? Not how do you fix this? Not how do I fix this? How do we fix this? So that's where we show our light. We show our light by creating beauty in this world. And we create beauty in this world, one, by art, the various mediums of art, but also we create beauty in this world by being ourselves, by being authentic, by being the loving, kind, compassionate people that we truly are at the heart of our being, in that place that nothing has ever been wrong. That's our light. That's our illumination. And it will draw people to you. And it will draw wounded people to you. And it will draw hurt people to you. And it will draw damaged people to you. And it's not your job to fix them. But when they are in your light, then they can see their own wounds and they can fix themselves. What you're doing is providing the light so that they can find the problems, that they can find their wounds and their scars and fix them. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else. But be that light, be that loving, kind, compassionate, authentic person that you are. Because when you are authentic, you give permission for other people to be authentic. So you don't have to wear a halo, and you don't have to be flawless. I'm not going to say perfect. I've owned that word. You don't have to be flawless. You're allowed to make mistakes. Frankly, when people see you making a mistake and then see how you fix the mistake, that's a good thing too. I mean, God bless if none of us ever had to make a mistake again. That would be fabulous. But we're going to make them. And then we're going to own them and we're going to fix them. And people are going to see that and go, okay, there's something here. Yeah, that's my idea of illumination. It's like, we don't have to wear the halo because the light's going to come from within us, from us being ourselves, us being the little godlings that we are, letting the light of God flow through us out into the world so that other people can use it to heal themselves. So, I got nothing on that Bible quote. I don't know what to tell you. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. So Ernest probably does have the better idea. The gates that we have to open represent the place in our consciousness where the divine flows into the human. And that's what I'm talking about. Be yourself. Be that divine being, that divine godling that you are. Let your love, let your light, let your compassion, let all of that flow through you. And don't try to fix people. Just provide the light that they can fix themselves and that they can heal themselves. You're letting the light and the healing and all of that flow through you so that they can fix themselves. And then you provide the assistance that they ask for. But it's not your job to fix broken people, because if you fix them, they may not stay fixed. If they fix themselves, then if they break again and you're not around to fix them, they'll know how to fix themselves. I don't know why that's important for me to say today, but it is. So there you go. The light that the saintly artists of medieval times painted around people, particularly the halo, represents the lifting up of these gates. These are people, Jesus being a particularly good example, who knew who they were. And they knew where their power came from. And they let that light and power flow through them. They didn't try and contain it. That doesn't work so well. And they weren't stingy with it. They just let it flow. They let that love out into the world to do what it could. Sometimes all we can do is be the conductor. We don't get to say how people use the light that we bring into the world. That's divine too. Illumination, or cosmic consciousness, is a reality. This is what Jesus referred to when he said, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." And really, honestly, that's what we want. We don't want people thinking that the light and the power is coming from us. We want them to know that it's coming through us from a divine source. That we are divine conductors, divine distributors, if you want to use Thomas Schroeder's word. We don't ever want people to get so hung up on us that they think that we're the only way. We want them to recognize that the power is coming through us and that they themselves have that power themselves. That it's like, here, let me show you the gate within yourself. Let me show you the gate, and let me show you, hey, you can open the gate. I'm not going to open it for you. I can't open it for you, but let me show you the gate. Let me show you how to open the gate. And then the power that you see me using, you yourself will have. It will come through you. And with that power, you will do amazing things. That's what he means by glorify your Father which art in heaven. It's like we recognize where the power comes from. We recognize where the creation comes from. We recognize where the light comes from. It's coming through us, not from us. Today, I lift up my consciousness to the light, and I know that the King of Glory will come in. Today, I keep this inner light, this candle of the Lord, trimmed and burning. Trimmed and burning. Meaning, we get to continue to do our work. When you blow out a candle, then before you light it again, you want to maintain that wick. You want to trim off the charred part. You don't even necessarily have to trim it. From what I understand, you just rub it and then take the charred part off. And then if it's frayed, then you trim it. And that right there, if it's frayed. So if your wick is a little frayed, what do you need to do? Do you need to rest? Do you need to read? Do you need to go listen to some phenomenal talk to refill? Or is there something in your life that you need to trim out? So, you want to keep burning that candle. Got to take care of that wick. which means you. For I know that the bridegroom, who is Christ, in my true self will enter my consciousness. It's like, I'm going to continue to do the work, and then that opens, as I do that work, as I continue to do that work, then I'm going to keep that door open, and the Christ consciousness is going to keep coming through. It's like, I don't ever want to forget that password. I don't ever want to shut that door. And if I accidentally shut the door, I'm going to get that door open as soon as I can. I know that there is a divine radiance emanating from everything. And that's one of the gifts of the Christ consciousness. When you look around the world and see that divine spark everywhere, in everything. When you see and recognize that everyone and every living being and everything is sacred. I know that in this light, which emanates from the very center of everything, there is no darkness at all. In this light, I shall see light. So there can and does descend into our minds, embody and personify in our person, a divinity, a unity, the Spirit of God, the direct incarnation of the original thing, and he uses the capital O and capital T, the original thing in us, the mystical presentation of Christ. Ernest firmly believed that we were capable of the Christ consciousness, and that is what he centered his teachings around. It's like, yeah, the light shines through you. It shines through you all the time. Sometimes through a glass lit darkly, and sometimes it's blinding. And sometimes we just need to figure out what it is that we need to do to let our light shine. And sometimes it's rest, and sometimes it's work. And sometimes it's going out and doing, and sometimes it's just being. We are human beings, after all, not human doings, so we are allowed to rest. Because if your fuel is burning a little low, go, rest, and reconnect. Or as I like to say, unkink that hose. I love being a child of the 70s and 80s. Drinking from hoses. Children, if you mention that to them now, are like, what? You did what? Yes, we drank from hoses. And when they were hot, they tasted like rubber. Metal and rubber. Okay. Okay. So what's our mission today? Well, if I use this one. Today, our mission is to lift up our consciousness to the light and know that the King of Glory will come. What? No. Our mission today is to lift up our consciousness to the light. Our mission today is to recognize that the divine consciousness flows through us, that light shines through us, and that we have a responsibility of keeping that light going. We have a responsibility of sharing that light. And that's it. That's it. When people come into that light, it's their choice what they do with it. Our only responsibility is sharing that light. Now, the cool thing about that is you get to decide what that light means to you. Because that light can mean so many different things, including little things like this, because I'm sharing the light right now. Not my light, the light. By providing a place where we can come and we can think about what Ernest Holmes had to say, and we can lift up our gates. So, I'm going to move on into the process of my day because we have a service to get ready that will be right here on Facebook Live at 11 a.m. And that will be exciting and cool because it's the last of the I Am series. So we'll see what that's going to look like. And I've already had a preview. If you've opened your email, you've gotten a preview of what next month is, and it's going to be really cool. So, but I mean, that's why we hang around Reverend Jesse, right? So I encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, because that is one way to make sure that you are trimming your wick and light and shining your light. When you do something loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself and other people see that, then they go, oh, and they can take permission to do something loving, kind, and compassionate for themselves. You're worth it. You are always worth it. You are a godling. You are a beloved child of God in whom Spirit is well pleased. So be loving, be kind, be compassionate, especially to yourself. Always. And especially coming into the holidays. We've gotten through Halloween, we've gotten through Thanksgiving, and we're coming into the season of light. That's what November is, the season of light. So, trim your wick. Trim your wick. All right? So do something to engage your mind and your body today. It's finally stopped raining here, so I may either get to go for a walk or a bike ride today. Although the weather is going to be really interesting for the next week. Gotta bring all my aloes in tonight. But yeah, do what you need to do to make it a fantastic day. So we will be back with you at 11 a.m. for the live stream service. And then Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. And I will be back with you at 9 a.m. And I'm not going to the gym tomorrow because it's the last day of fair and I didn't want to do that to my trainer. That means I rescheduled that for Wednesday for his sake. So hopefully his other client who comes in before me will also let him reschedule so he can get a little extra sleep because, they slogged it out for Friday and Saturday. Apparently Friday wasn't bad, but Saturday it rained all day. So yeah, they got one more day. So have a wonderful day and I will see you in about an hour and a half. All right, beloveds. Have a great day.